Good morning, good day. It is June 16th, a beautiful Saturday here in central Mississippi. I'm here live from my home office. This is More on the Road with Bernard Moore III, presented to you by More and More Sports Management. Nothing but more is our slogan. For more information, you can log on to our website, www.mms-management.com. I definitely want to share some information with you guys. There's a lot going on here in Mississippi right now. Thing I like about More on the Road, yes, it was started based off sports. Again, how we got started was working for a local uh, auto dealership at Mack Height and Flowood, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. I gotta give them a shout out because they one really kind of inspired me to do this along with my good friends at Talking Sports Live in every 0.9 for information. Talking Sports right now is something going on with the computer, the network, because of some storms we just had recently had. But I definitely want to give a shout out to my guys at Talking Sports Live, Rob J, Larry Nix, Beef on the board, and myself Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on 105.9 FM The Zone. Tune in Tuesday. You can log on to the website www.10 is it excuse me www.thezone THEZONE1059.com to tune into the show Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Again, this is More on the Road with Bernard Moore III, presented to you by More and More Sports Management. Nothing but more. I am the host, the creator, the starter, the founder of all this good, lovely stuff. And I thank the Lord for blessing me with this opportunity to do what I do. But now, again, just talked about what's going on. Recently, we had some storms just traveling from the west, traveling east in the east direction. I had some storms that come through Texas. I think uh, it started off in Texas. I'm not sure about what took place in New Mexico and Colorado and California, but I know it came through Texas. They had some tornadoes, and it was traveling this way towards Mississippi, crossed over Louisiana and Arkansas, and kind of did some stuff in Mississippi. I'm not sure exactly what took place in Arkansas or Louisiana. I haven't heard anything, but I saw some recent stories about tornadoes in Texas. uh Forgot what city, what town they were in Texas, but some tornadoes and had some injuries, and I want to say a few lives were lost. My prayers goes out to those individuals in Texas. Now let's travel home into the state of Mississippi. We had some issues in Mississippi. I don't know that there were any. I haven't heard of any death, but I know that there was some injuries. Actually, one guy here locally in Jackson was stuck up under a roof from a tree falling on his house, his or her house, and a neighbor went by and saw him and kind of called for 911 to help rescue him because he was trapped up under some roof debris, and saw also on the news that a young lady was laying in the bed and a tree fell on it and kind of missed her, but it hit her bed and stuff, and she was trapped, but she was able to get out through her little uh, hole that was somewhere. She was able to get out. Based off the news, though, she was fine, no injuries, because she was up talking on the news, so I think she was fine. But I know I slept through the storm. Past what was this? Thursday took place Thursday. Yes, Thursday evening. I know I slept through. When it did something, I came home, laid down. What woke me up was my alarm on my phone, because I was planning to go to the gym. I woke up and heard the wind blowing, heard the rain, and so I just got up and looked around and saw the rain was coming down. I didn't see any damage in my backyard, but just saw the rain coming down. Didn't see any poles swaying from the point of view of the backside of my home. And so I just sat in the living room, sat in a chair, and just kind of watched the news, monitor the news, and saying there's some storms coming here, there, and everywhere. Then I heard the siren go off. I kind of took precautions about the siren. I just started praying and meditating and conversing with God, to make sure that everything was fine. Time passed. Woke up, and started traveling throughout the city, was feeling ready to go ahead and start my daily my day. And wow, man, drive around the neighborhood, saw fence posts. I had some wooden fence was down. My neighbor's wood fence was down in my backyard. Drove around one of the main fences down, kept on traveling, saw trees and limbs all in the yard. Went out. It was trash day, and I saw the trash. Somebody trash can pushed in front of my yard. I'm like, okay, now who trash cans is this? It was kind of blocking my driveway, but I saw it was able. I could move it, but it was just sitting in the block in the middle part of portion of my driveway. And so I took my trash out and slid the trash can up to my neighbor's house, who I thought it was. It may not have been theirs, but I just slid it up to my neighbor's house, and who I assumed the trash can belonged to. And then I got him a vehicle, drive around again, saw the fences down. It's like, man, it was this much. I saw trees down, some big trees. Wasn't there any small, there was some big trees. Like, man, saw them down. It's an open field near my home, and saw a tree laid down over somebody's fence. I was like, man, it really came down. So kept on driving. I saw a tree completely just block complete street. It's not a main street, it was more like a side cut street, but there were residents that resided on the street. They were able to get to their home because of the other, they can come from another direction to get to the homes, but it just wasn't passable. And so I was like, wow, man, a lot did happen. So I kept on driving and seeing a lot of tree limbs down, debris in the middle of the road, tree limbs in the road. And you can see where another tree blocked the highway, but the city or whomever have already removed it. But you can see all the sawdust, the tree dust on the side of the road. So you know that there was a tree blocking the road. And driving around, lights out, power lights out, the signal lights and stuff were out, so you see it a lot happened. So you can say that a lot did happen, but I think the Lord know that I pray that everyone was safe, and I know that there are some individuals that are still without power. Pray that everything is well with them also, especially those individuals that they need power for medication, for food, the elderly, or not just saying the elderly, somebody that needs a machine to for medicine. You understand what I'm saying? The machines for their medicine. So just pray that everything is back to where it is, and everyone gets good. So power companies, Entergy, and I know that there's some other ones that help out, but I know we reside in the area which Entergy provides power. So I know that they've reached out to the different partners around the state, neighboring states to come over and this. And so that's one thing I could say about certain corporations, that they do reach out to other companies, even competitors, but I don't think that they're in a competition with each other, because certain companies provide service for certain areas, power wise and gas wise, for unlike the other uh, major companies, the ones that providing phone. What am I trying to say? Internet service, phone service, satellite TV service. Those are competitors, and they're competing all within the same market, compared to like utility companies, like Entergy, Centerpoint, was Atmos, now the Centerpoint. Companies like that, they provide service to those particular areas. So there's really not any competition for someone coming in trying to compete, but they reach out to partnering states and partnering companies in other areas to help come provide service to the area that was disrupted by some type of storm or a natural cause. So kudos to you guys that are traveling from neighboring states. I know that you're leaving your family, leaving your homes to come over here to help us out, as well as some of our companies. They go and help out other states as well. So I like that partnership, and I wish that everyone can definitely see that and see what's going on, and just lend a helping hand in that nature, because we all need help. And I want to say blessings and anointing to the members of Zion Trial Missionary Baptist Church and any other churches that are out providing service and goodwills and resources to the community. I know that my church, I'm a member of Zion Tribe Missionary Baptist Church, and we're traveling. The church is traveling up to the Delta Rolling Fork area. I want to say it was Rolling Fork, where they're going up there feeding. They're going to provide some care goods and provide them with an encouraging word up there because they recently had a storm back in March and they're still rebuilding. It kind of destroyed the entire community. So they're still rebuilding. And my pastors, well, I guess, heard a word from God to go and travel up there, some of the members, to go and provide some resources, some food, words of encouragement to them up in Rolling Fork. So safe travels to you guys. God's anointing is on you all. And again, God is watching down and saying, well done, my good and faithful service. And then you're looking at me and say, why you didn't go? Because I had some other obligations here locally that I need to take care of today that I need to get. I didn't go, but I did provide some resources. When I'm not saying my family did provide resources and some some goods to take up there to buy to that community. Again, this is more on a roll with Bernard Moore III, presented to you by More and More Sports. Man, more is what we are for www.mms-management.com. Now, speaking of community and resources, things along that line, I recently attended a conference. When I say it was a conference, or what we can say a conference or training workshop. We say a workshop. Was it yeah, last Saturday? I attended a workshop last Saturday and speaking about community, developing community when things happen within a community. And they targeted, not saying targeted, but they really kind of expound on four different institutions. We're gonna say that they're institutions. One was community, one was government, one was education, and one was business. And what we mean by community, we're speaking about the individuals within that particular neighborhood community. And when we're speaking about government, we're speaking holistically generalized government from your local officials to your state officials to your federal officials. And when we speak about education, we're speaking about education within the community, such as your schools, your elementary schools, your community schools, such as like Head Start, things along the line, and your business, those business that affect the business that provides service in that community as well, neighborhood in which we're talking about. So it's all centered around community, but we broke it down to four different. They kind of broke it down to four different categories. And one of the questions that the presenter proposed to us: who makes a greater impact in the community out of those four? Now, it was a diverse selection. It was a diverse group. You had males, females, you had black, white. I want to say that there were some other different nationalities there as well, but I just can't pinpoint and say, hey, it was just national. So it wasn't just general all black Americans or all white American. It was a diverse group. It was a diverse group. I want to say it was about 30 plus in attendance. So you can tell it was a small group, but it was a diverse of different backgrounds, different positions and employment, different job dynamics. So it was a diverse group. I'll put it that way. And the presenter proposed that question on like community, government, education, business. It was three presenters and it kind of centered around somewhat similar things, but they talked about similar different aspects of to improve community things along the line, but they really stuck up on those four different institutions, which is community, government, education, and business. And again, one of said, who makes the greater impact in the community out of community, government, education, business? Some said this. Some said the government makes a greater impact on the community with the resources out of education makes a greater impact on the community because it provides the people with wisdom and knowledge. Business make a greater impact on the community because it provides them with financial resources, and the community makes a greater impact in the community because they're there. And the table in which where I was sitting, It was, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wanna say it was 7. Yes, it was 7 individuals sitting at the table. Each table held 8, so it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it was about 8, 7 to 8 tables filled, and each table holds 8 individuals, and again, and it was 7 individuals at the table where I was sitting. And so the table in which where I was sitting, we had a collectively said that all 4 work hand in hand. All 4 makes a greater impact on the community. And we had to explain the community, they're there. The government provide the resources to the community that is there. Education help teach and train the community to how to better themselves and how to work together. And the business make a great impact in the community because they're providing resources. So they make a greater impact in the community because where there's no money that is circulating in the community, where there's no, I'd say, no mom and pop stores or business that has established in the community. So there's no money really coming into the community. And then education, you want to teach and train your community how to be individual because there are in certain communities or neighborhoods, there are individuals that do not have a full education, as well as that they probably have something a middle school education or a little high school education. And so not knowing the dynamics of that individual situation of why they did not continue their education. You really want to understand why they did not continue. Some people just became lazy. Some people just felt that it was too hard, and they really never really pushed through it. Some individuals had to work, take care of the family at an early age, so they had to put the education aside to go to help provide money in the household. So really don't understand the dynamics of those individuals, but some individuals within that community do not have anything above an elementary education, depending on their age, or high school education. They stop midway through high school. So again, we don't understand the dynamics of the situation of that particular family. And then the government do not go into the community. They only provide them what they think that they need and not knowing exactly what the community need. So they just provide them what they think they need with lack of resources going to the community. And then the community itself, sometimes the community is destroying the community because of they don't want to see anybody help try to improve the community, so they try to run them off, or they just want to stay, or they are complacent and saying, "Hey, we're doing just fine. Even though my porch is about to fall down, I'm fine. Go ahead and fix the porch up, beautify your neighborhood. Stop painting, stop tagging throwing, graffiti over a building that's been closed down because y'all ran the person out." So you see how all that works together. So again, the table in which where I sat at, they call us the kind of the fiery, the spark group because we were real into what we were discussing. So I said we were real into what we were discussing because again, we had a diverse group at that table as well, but we were really into what the discussion what was going on. So that's how they feel that all 4 work together. And I support that. Again, I support that. I think all 4 do work together. All 4 makes a greater impact on the community. And I think one of the questions was, who makes a great impact on poverty in the community? And again, all 4 does. Again, this is More on the Road with Bernard Moore III, presented to you by More and More Sports Management. Nothing but more is what we do, is what we're all about. For more information, again, you can log on to our website, www.mms-management.com, to learn about some events that we have coming up. So, since I'm talking about the website, let me go ahead and go to some events that we have coming up soon. So, let me share this information with you. Also, this is this is just me doing my part in the community because I am the community, and these events will provide resources to organizations that provide service to communities all around. I'm not gonna say certain communities, to communities all around. First, start off with the Coaching Cancer Benefit Basketball game taking place July the 14th at Pearl High School in Pearl, Mississippi, 500 Pirate Cove in Pearl, Mississippi. This benefit game will help support the Butterflies by Grace, designed by Faith, and the Susie G. Coleman Breast Cancer Organization. Butterflies by Grace is a domestic violence organization established and started by one of my teammates, my classmate, his mother. She's like another mother to me as well. She established this organization along with some friends and supporters of her. This the Butterflies by Grace Design My Faces. So this is my way of supporting her organization. They call me the Wasp. I think I'm a Wasp. I think that's what we say. I'm a Wasp. The females are the butterflies and the males are the wasps. So this is my way of supporting her and the resources that she's providing to domestic violence victims and overcomers. And the conference, a lot of conference or workshop that I've attended her, she's had some survivors come out and speak in reference to domestic violence. You know, domestic violence it is real, and don't just think domestic violence is only happening to females. It happened to males as well. So don't just look at that. And sometimes we are ignorant of domestic violence and what we think domestic violence means. Uh, Domestic violence is how can I put it? I'm trying to put it in a way to understand. Domestic violence is violence committed by someone in a victim domestic circle. It's more of intertwined of such as in family. This includes partners, ex-partners, immediate family members, other relatives and family friends. The term domestic violence is used when there's a close relationship between the offender and the victim. So again, it's not just between a man and a woman. It's between a parent and a child and a parent, or two children, or parents against each other, or either same sex parents or same sex individual. But it's more of a situation within an inner circle, a very close circle of friends or family. So that's what really domestic violence or domestic is considered. So again, the part of the proceeds from this game will benefit that organization, Butterflies by Grace, designed by Faith, as well as portion of the proceeds will go to the Susie G. Coleman Breast Cancer Organization. How can I put this? I haven't been directly affected by breast cancer, but I've been directly affected by breast cancer. You look like, what are you talking about? I have 2 aunts, uh, close aunts, that were dealing with breast cancer. One of my aunts, she passed, and one of my aunt, she is a survivor of breast cancer. I have a close friend who also is like a mother to me. She is a survivor of breast cancer. So that's what I'm saying. It's not directly affecting me, but it is directly affecting me. You know, it's close. It's close to me in reference to breast cancer. So again, this is something that I have a passion for. Anything that I can definitely try to do to help those two organizations provide service and resource to individuals that need that service. So this is the reason why it's called Coaching Cancer. By established by what to say that we have to coach individuals through things that they're going through. We have to coach and provide encouragement to individuals that were involved in domestic violence because they need that encouraging word and support. And that's what a coach does. A coach is supporting, and as well as coach those individuals that are going through breast cancer and when they're going through treatment. They need words of encouragement and support. So that's the reason why it is here. And again, called Coaching Cancer is that we have to provide encouragement to those individuals that are going through those particular things, domestic violence, or going through some type of treatment for breast cancer. So that's the reason why it's established. So I'm calling on my coaches. I'm targeting coaches because of how we look at coaches. Again, we look at coaches as leaders and encouragers. So I need my coaches, middle school, high school, collegiate, professional, any type of sport, tennis, cricket, golf, racquetball, pickleball is coming up now. So you don't have to be a basketball player or basketball coach to participate. it's just I'm calling on my coaches again because I'm a former coach as well, so we are encouragers, and I want to show these individuals, these survivors, that know that coaches are here for you guys, that we're gonna continue to encourage because sports is becoming a $1 billion industry. And so this is my way of reaching back out. Is don't You don't have to say, hey, I know funds are what I think I forgot how much I said the tickets were, but I'm gonna charge $5. I know all these events that I'm talking about, the tickets are $5. You can quote me on this saying this, you can play it back in my face. If I say the tickets are $7, forgive me. I want to make it affordable to anybody. If you wanna donate more, hey, I'm all for it. Just donate it to the event, or you want to write a check to those particular events. No, just let me know. We can get the information to you. Again, Coaching Cancer Benefit Basketball Game will take place July the 14th this year, which is next month. It's almost it's less than a month away. I'm attaching it to the coaching clinic that is taking place that week also in Flowood at I forgot the hotel. I think it's the Sheraton. The Mississippi Association of Coaches is not associated with it by any means necessary. So, but since I'm gonna have a lot of coaches in town that week, so I want to try to tag along with that. So hey, grab it while they're here. Come on out, support coaches. So you know how to reach me. Again, you can log on the website. It's all there. Contact information. It's all there for me. So if you need me, hit me up. Come for me. No, it's all good. I definitely want you guys support. With this taking place July the 14th at Pearl High School, 500 Pirate Cove in Pearl, Mississippi. For more information, again, you can log on the website to get the information. So to also follow us on social media, it is plastered all over our social media sites also. Now, the old school Hoop Fest. This is the eighth year for it. Well, it would have been the ninth, but last year we ran into some hiccups, and then 2019, actually 2000 was it 2000, 2019 was the last year for it, due to that's when COVID really hit. So had to put the events on hold for right now. So we're getting it back up. The old school Hoop Fest will take place July the 29th at Lanier High School, 833 West Maple Street, Jackson, Mississippi. And the whole old school Hoop Fest will be composed of former JPS scholar athlete basketball players, male and females. Let me say this: all the games that we're putting together, they are male and female games. So, ladies, don't look and say, "Well, not basketball. It's a guy. He's only looking at males." No, it's male and female. So I'm calling female coaches, female former players, all the good stuff. So female and males can participate in any of the games that we're discussing right now. Again, the Old School Hoop Fest, which will take place July 29th at Lanier High School, 833 West Maple Street here in Jackson, Mississippi. Again, the benefits, the proceeds from this game will help support the scholar athletes of JPS, Jackson Public Schools. Been doing this again. This is the eighth year for it. This is going to be the eighth game of 19, 20, 21. No, 20, 21, and 22 games were canceled due to COVID restriction. Then last year game due to facility hiccup. But it's all good. We're back. Working with Mr. Former athletic director who retired, Clinton Johnson, sat down and discussed some things with him, and he liked the idea. Again, the proceeds from this game will help. We can go back and support the scholars and coaches of JPS, Jackson Public School athletics, to help them to with facility, anything that they need the funds for from this game. So definitely come on out, support. Again, July the 29th, former JPS scholars, male and female basketball players, taking it to the court. I know I established this because kept on hearing people talk. No, I said, man, forget all this talking, take it to the court. And also, it's a spinoff from the old school, new school game that took place at Lanier. So that's the reason why it's really established at Lanier. So kudos. I told Coach Billis, man, no, you guys inspired me to do this. So I think Coach Billis was the one that established the old school, new school game at Lanier. The old school Lanier High School basketball players gets the new school Lanier High School basketball players. So they inspire me. So, and I know Coach Billups actually won 2 or 3 games working with the old school Hoop Fest, and a bunch of his former Lanier players played. So again, I really thank you guys for encouraging, inspiring me to do this. But hey, it's still going on. So the annual Old School Hoop Fest, July the 29th at Lanier High School, 833 West Maple Street in Jackson, Mississippi. And now this is a new one that we just established the Holy Patrol Hoops. And saying, why in the world Holy Patrol? This is going into the second year for this game, the Holy Patrol Hoops. And why was it established? It is for unity. I'm looking at unity right now. There's a lot going on within. I'm looking at Jackson right now. It's a lot going on within the city of Jackson. And when something goes on, one, they're gonna call the police. And if something happened dramatically, to a family to disrupt the family, then they're gonna call the church. The police and the church. So this game is centered around law enforcement and our religious leaders to come out and participate in the game of basketball. Why am I doing basketball? Basketball is a universal sport. Everyone loves to try to shoot a three, and everyone loves to try to dunk. So basketball is a universal sport. Basketball don't care how good it looks. If you can take this orange ball with with the black lines all around, made of rubber or whatever type of material, if you can somehow get it down the court with dribbling without breaking the rules, or you get it and you take it and you throw it to the basket with this big old square around with a white square around, some of them white or clear white, whatever color the backboard is, and you try to throw it into this, I guess it's that board, and make it go into that orange rim. By any means necessary, you can do it. And a lot of people they have attempted to do it. Now, all of them, they're not the best looking shots, but some they will attempt to do it, and some of them will go in. So again, again, this game is calling on my religious leaders. I'm calling on my politicians. I'm calling on my attorneys. I'm calling on the police and law enforcement. I'm calling on you guys, correctional officers. I'm calling on you guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I'm calling on you all to come and participate in this benefit basketball game, Holy Patrol Hoops, which will take place August the 6th at Hillcrest Christian School, 4060 South Sawyer Road in Jackson, Mississippi. And the proceeds from this game will go to a local organization, Operation Shoestrings. No, again, they have no ties. I just spoke with them at an event, and I told them what I was doing, and they met up on it. Said yes, we will. No, hey, they're not going to turn. I'm not saying they turn away. This is good money. It's just me doing stuff for the community to help improve the community. I never really understood the complete mission of what Operation Shoestring was. I just thought it was just a what's the word am I looking for? Not a cabinet, a cupboard, a food pantry. That's the word, a food pantry, where they're providing food to the community, which the office is located. Is it? I don't know if that's Gallatin or Bailey Avenue. I think it's Gallatin at a certain point. Then that's when they switch over to Baylor. I think it's Gallatin. I think the office is located on Gallatin Street. But again, I thought Operation Shoestring was the food pantry that was providing meals to the community. But after this event I attended a few weeks ago, probably like a month or so ago, I've learned more about what they do. They provide educational service, they provide parenting service, they provide support to the community as well as the secondary elementary school age students. So they do more than just a food pantry. And again, that was my ignorance, and that's what I thought. That's all they did, but that's not only what they do. So that's the reason why I went to an event. I was invited to an event that they were hosting about giving awards and acknowledgement to their supporters. And so they talked about it, and I learned more about it. Said, man, no, this is something. So hey, let me see if I can help be a part of this and support what they're doing. Again, all these benefit games is supporting the organization here locally that I'm wanting to provide service so that they can continue to do what they do for the community. Again, the Coaching Cancer Benefit Basketball Game, July the 14th at Pearl High School, 500 Pirate Cove in Pearl, Mississippi. Help support the Susie G. Coleman and Domestic Butterflies by Grace, designed by Faith Domestic Violence Organization. Again, for more information on all of these events, you can log on to the website. The annual Old School Hoop Fest taking place July the 29th at Lanier High School, 833 West Maple Street here in Jackson, Mississippi. Help support the friends of JPS Athletics and the Holy Patrol Hoops August the 6th, 2023, at Hillcrest Christian School, 4060 South Sawyer Road here in Jackson, Mississippi. Help support what Operation Shoestring is attempting to do. Again, these events that I'm putting together, I am scrapping up some change to put these events together. So, but if you definitely would like to support, become a sponsor, and donate some funds to help put these events together, I am all ears. So definitely reach out to me. You can get information from the website, how to contact me. So again, I am all ears for those that want to support. Um, Come on out. Just let me know. Now, got all that out the way. Again, this is more on the road with Bernard Moore the third, presented to you by More and More Sports Management. Nothing but more is our slogan. For more information, for advertising, for more on the road, you can give us a call at 601-260-3509. Wow, that was a whole lot. Now, let me talk about what we was talking about again, the workshop that I attended in dealing with community government education and business. Now, those events that I was just speaking about, that also helping the community as well. If I'm involved in the government, in which they can come out and participate and see what the community needs, and then education, that will provide some type of education system there, because I've reached out to some local organizations that provide education and training and asked if they will come set up a little table or booth information about the organization in which they represent to help the community, and also asking business to provide resources and service and some financial gain to help these events take place, and all affecting the community. So you see how all this work together. Now, my opinion, I kind of gave a spiel about, I think community help can help solve poverty in the community. Now I'm talking about this, but it's going to lead on to some other things as well, and you understand why. The community, the individuals of that particular community, neighborhood, whatever you want to call it, the block, the little corner, uh, however you want to realistically say it, what you say, what your community is. Now, again, how I feel that what community is, how I feel what community is. Just bear with me wait quick. I'm looking at something on the computer, and I got my monitors in front of me. So just bear with me just a few moments. I'm trying to look at something. All right, I wanted to get a definition of community. I want to give the Webster meaning of what we feel that community means. Community, it is a noun. It's a unified body of individuals, such as the people with common interests living in a particular area, probably the area itself. A group of people with a common characteristics or interests living together within a large society. A body of persons of common and especially professional interests scattered through a large society. A body of persons or nations having common history or common social economic interests. A group linked by common policies. Of an interacting population of various kind of individuals, such as species, and a common location. A social state or condition. So you see that there's so much with community. And what we're looking at community is a unified body of individuals, such as the people in a common people with common interests living in a particular area. It's broad, but in an area itself. Now, what I mean by I'm looking at community wise, when community we have one main interest of that's going to unify us together. This is where we live. So when I look at all those four that say that what can help uh, solve poverty in the neighborhoods in the community, it is the community. Now, the community again, you may say, well, this kind of redundant what you're saying because all them, you putting all four together. I am, but it's still you're going to see how the community is the focal point. The community again is a unified body of individuals such as people with common interests living in a particular area. We're going to use that particular area. So now you take this particular area, you help develop it, you bring your individuals in and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what we are. This is who we are. This is what our community is. Because you got neighborhoods such as West Side, West Side, uh, Willowwood, Oak Creek, Presidential Hill, Shady Oaks, the Bottom, Georgetown, Wood Street. What else? The Queens. I'm trying to think. What's it? Norwood, um, Northgate. So you see how these particular areas, sex themselves off and gave themselves a title, whatever. But then you have North Jackson, you have South Jackson, you have West Jackson, you have Northeast Jackson, you have Clinton. What's the neighborhood in Clinton? I forgot what it is. Then you got Utica. You have Port Gibson. You have PG. You have Claiborne County. So you have see these particular city areas. Those are communities, but sometimes there are communities within communities. Now let's get back to where I'm going with this. With what I mean by the community. All right, the community itself has established has an effect on poverty and entails how all four work together. And what I'm looking at community again, the body, a unified body of individuals. The community help establish businesses. Somebody in the community had to come up with an idea. I want to create something that I will provide a service that I will charge a fee to help support build my community back up. So that's where your mom and pop stores come into play. So now the community want to educate and train their community to how to better themselves, to how to help establish how to run businesses, to how to learn how to count money, to learn how to read and understand exactly what's going on. So that's what teach and train your community to how to better themselves, like the different workshops that I've attended, that I'm still continuing to attend to help better myself and how to work within the community because this community where I reside may do things a little different from community that's in California. So I want to see what California does, but then I can take some information that I've learned that how I handle things here in my community. California may look at that, hey, well, we can use that too. So you see how we're sharing information and training each other how to develop our community. So that's what said. It's good to be in a diverse group sometime to learn and bounce things up off each other. And now the community help put those particular individuals in government, such as your aldermen or alderwomen, your councilmen or councilwoman, your mayors, your governors. They put the community vote those individuals in. So you see how the community is the one to help establish what. But when you put those individuals in office and when you train those individuals, establish the community definitely does need to support them and what they are doing. So you see how the community can help control a lot of what's going on in their community. Now, let's go back to what's going on in certain communities. Now, it's no unknown issue that Jackson, Mississippi is having water issues. It's not a secret. Yes, Jackson, Mississippi is having water issues with the water that is going on. Some of the water is not flowing correctly. Some of the water is not doing this. Now, this is just my epiphany. I had an epiphany. And I'm not going to look at the government or look at the businesses or the education. I'm going to look at the community, the individuals, that particular unified body. I'm looking at the individuals right now. Again, I'm looking at the community. You can ride up a lot of streets around Jackson, especially in the unpopulated area, and you can see that there's a lot of debris, trash, just thrown on the side of the road, or people are stockpiling where there's weed in an unkept area that there's trash is just being thrown, dropped off there that you probably took from your household or some individuals that have a business that they hauling off junk or doing constructions. Some of them would take the stuff that they don't need and supposed to take it to the landfill so that it can be discarded properly. Some individual would just take it to the side of the road and dump it over because they don't want to pay that fee for discarding the trash that they have so that it can be done properly. So you somewhat taking work, you taking what am I trying to say? You providing a service to the community, but you're taking work away from individuals that are attempting to provide a service just like you are. So you rather just throw it on the side of the road and somebody get it, somebody don't. Now I just say that somebody don't get it. Now let's take a look at this. So you got trash, you got furniture, car tires, you got a whole lot of debris that's sitting on the side of the road where there's a lot of the trees that in an area that is unkept. So now let's just take a look at when Mother Nature does what she does. Mother Nature comes in and Mother Nature provides us a good watering service, just like what we just had, no good watering service, and add a little wind debris on there, just kind of clear some of the street side, clear some pathway for some things. As you understand exactly where I'm going with this. So now that trash that you just threw on side of the road in the unkept area, that stuff is being transferred to some place. And somewhere in all communities, there's a creek or there's some type of drainage. There's some type of where that the water will flow through somewhere in all neighborhood. There's a creek, there's a ditch that's gonna flow somewhere to get to one of the major rivers or the creeks, and it's gonna flow to somewhere to get to the Pearl River or the Mississippi River, the Big Black River, or the river, some neighbor, some type of river that's run. I know the Pearl River is here because it runs from north south and it stretches a long way. And sometimes it can flood too. So now you take a look at this. Now all that trash that we just I'm not saying we because I try not to throw trash on the side of the road, but I know if I got my windows down, something fly out, hey, it flies out a little piece of paper. So yes, I do litter sometimes, but it's not something intentionally trying to do it. Sometimes it's doing unintentionally. But when stuff gets to be on side of the road, and then we have Mother Nature come and do her thing, and you see how that stuff is being flushed into our water system, and then it can bag it up, and then it can cause a big issue where something is working. This is what they designed, the engineers and stuff. They come and say, well, if we got to set a floor of this and we have to turn it up to this notch, if it goes this, no, it's doable. No, it's gonna mess up somewhere down the line, but it's still doable. It can go for so long, but then once it feel they have to work a little harder, just as individuals sometimes. Now, if we work a little harder than what we normally do, we give out. We want to give up and say, man, forget all this stuff. So now you think about that machine. If that machine starts to work a little harder by something that we did mistakenly by throwing stuff on the side of the road, in which Mother Nature came and did her thing, in which Mother Nature gonna do her thing and push all this stuff into our water system, and it start bagging stuff up, and then we get dirty water because we throwing chemicals, we throwing stuff that should not be in there into our water that's getting flushed into our water system. Then you see where the big issue come from. And then we want to turn to the government and say, you all are not doing your job. You are not doing what you're supposed to do. But they can only do so much because of the resources that they have. The government can only do so much. And some people think the government has unlimited resource. I can't provide an answer to that because I don't know. I'm not gonna say yay or nay that they do, but the government does have some resources, access to a lot of different other resources that common individuals don't have. So I'm not gonna say that the government do not have the resources, but then we look at the government saying you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now let's take a look at our community. If we see somebody doing good, we definitely gonna try to stand behind them and support them the best way we can. Either we're providing them with resources or providing them with encouraging words. If we see someone doing bad, we try to stray away from them and go to our little corner and talk about them. And not saying, hey, what's going on? What can we do for you to stop doing bad? What can we do to help you to do good? What can we do? Because sometimes those individuals doing bad, they're terrorizing the community. They're making the community messed up, and it makes some of the other individuals don't want to do anything in the community by try to help improve the face the face of the community. Sometimes we stray away from that. So instead of just downplaying and say, "Hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing," just ask, "Hey, what can we do to help this process?" And all starts by with you self as an individual. So the community does make a major impact on the outcome of the community. Now I've heard of some other communities that they are a community themselves, they govern themselves, they handle all the stuff themselves. So no other agency or out individual outside of the community can come in and do anything. Like the Native Americans on their particular reservations, they have their own police, they have their own stores, they have all the things that they need to survive. And some individuals, like if uh the individuals that's not within that circle or within that organization, they can't just come on there and just do whatever they want. They live by their own rules, they live by their own standards, and hey, that's the way that they go. So I say the community plays a major part in a lot of what's going on. So our communities, our individuals, we need to better ourselves so that we can make our communities better. To not just depend on our government and whom which the community puts in office, as well as our educators who help train us individuals in the community to better ourselves, to establish businesses and to go help make government to help make better laws to help support the communities and what we're attempting to do. So community, stand up community, go ahead and do what is needed to be done so we can go and get out these funny situations and so we can help better ourselves and prepare because sometimes the direction in which we're going sometimes is not the best direction. Excuse me, for us, and it may not look good. So community, let's step up and go ahead and do what we need to do and go ahead and make this world a better place. Just like Michael Jackson song, Michael Jackson said, looking at the man in the mirror. We got to look at ourselves sometime in certain things at what's going on. Oh well, just let me send out my congratulations. I know this is centered around a sports talk show, but hey, so let's throw some sports in there. They talked about the benefit game, so that's sports stuff, but help support the community. I want to get say my kudos to Coach Scott Berry, Southern Miss USM Golden Eagles. It's Southern Miss to the top. Baseball coach. He coached this last game Monday. They were defeated by the Tennessee Volunteers 5-0 for the College World Series. Now he was an outstanding coach. And he was a good coach. Congratulations on the success that you had, Coach Berry. I know that you still will be a part of baseball. I know that you're going to do something with baseball. So I know that you're not leaving and you're not going to go and play golf and sit on the porch and rock yourself away in your rocking chair and look at the birds and the bees fly across. I know you're not going to do that. I don't know you personally, but I know just the type of individual that you just what I've seen of you. I know you're still going to be involved in baseball, but not in it heavily like you as was the coach. So kudos to Coach Barry, and I wish the up and coming coach well the success that he has. Don't try to fill his shoes. Go ahead and set your own rules and lay your own foundation out for the Golden Eagles baseball team. And also, congratulations to the Denver Nuggets on winning the NBA championship, the first in team history for I think 40 something years. Congratulations to you guys, Coach Malone and his staff and the players and the organization on winning the NBA championship. Now, talking about this since we're still on community, I want to say something about this. They were celebrating the Denver Nuggets. Somebody had to come in there and do something foolish. Shooting, all this. Come on now. Celebrate the time. Have fun and enjoy this moment because you won at the NBA championship and then you want to go out and shoot some individual just randomly shoot. Come on, enjoy the time. Stop doing foolish stuff. That's one thing I just can't understand is I'm not trying to understand it. I don't like stupidity, and that was just plain sign of stupidity. People are out celebrating the championship, even though some of them may not be basketball fans or Nugget fans. Hey, celebrate your city. Hey, go out and party, have fun, enjoy, because you know it's going to be party because you just won the NBA championship. And for 40 something years, your first championship, I think it's the first, but you just won a championship. Enjoy, celebrate. Somebody's having a party. Go out and have fun and enjoy the time. Wow. And now I'm going to talk about other stupidity um, things. Now, I'm not saying that this will happen, but I just think it should happen. Again, this is more on the road with Bernard Moore III, presented to you by More and More Sports Management. If you'd like more information about what we do, log on to our website, www.mms-management.com. I just want to share this before we get us out of here. Also, like us on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can see all the information on the website to click on it, because if you type in More and More Sports Management, you may get more and more stuff. But like us on social media, go to our website. You see all of our links. Just click on the button down below and take you directly to our page. Now, I want to talk about something before we get out of here. It's quite interesting. How many of y'all can go back and pass for our seasoned drivers that had their driver's license? I would say anywhere 5 years or more. How many of you can go back and pass the driving written test? Not the actual driving test, the written test. How many of y'all can go back and pass it? I'm not gonna say that I can, because some rules and regulation things have changed, and I have to update myself. Now I think I did well on when I first took it because I was prepared for it. I prepared myself for it. But how many of y'all can go back and take and pass the written test right now? Just say comment, yay, nay, that you can do it. Give me a thumbs up that you can do it with no problem, or just say, hey, I think I can know after I prepare review the information. Now, in reference to the storms in the city, power was out. So when power is out, so that there's some stoplights, traffic lights that are going to be out in the city. Some of us do not abide by the rules and regulations of traffic lights when they're out, or when they're not in their fully capable operation and condition. We know we travel a lot. Now, I'm not gonna say that I obeyed all lights sometimes. Yes, I ran a few red lights. Yes, I've sped through some yellow lights. And sometimes I have disregarded the traffic light. Now, I'm not gonna say that I do that every day, but sometimes, when I know that there's a situation going on, I'll be cautious about how I drive because of the dynamics, the environment that we're involved in right now. Now, when you come to a traffic light, there's a flashing red light. You know that there's a traffic light, but there's a flashing red light. You're supposed to treat that as a four-way stoplight. Or if there is multiple, if I think it's mainly the main highways, because if there's an intersection, you got a main highway, the main a bit more busy street, you're gonna have the flashing yellow, and then the side road at the intersection is probably gonna have the flashing red. So whenever there's a flashing red, that is considered a stop, but you treat it somewhat like a four-way stop sign. If there's a flashing yellow, if you have the flashing yellow, you treat that as a caution. No, to be careful easing through this intersection because you don't know what's going on with the other. So treat it as a caution, is as more of a yield sign. And when you know that there's a light up there because you notice a light there, but the light is completely out, you treat that as a complete four-way stop sign all around. Doing my travel throughout the city of Jackson, um, I'm gonna say today, yesterday, and the day before when the lights were out, some drivers, mainly a lot of drivers, they discarded those particular signs. And some of us get confused when we get there about who should go. Should I go? Should I not go? Because it does get confusing sometimes. It does. Just kind of who got there first. Okay, this car go. If we both going straight, everybody needs to go this going in different direction, parallel to each other, or no, it should be counter cross, or if there's a turn lane, sometimes you got to be cautious about that though. Just follow the rules. It seems like when the weather, the conditions are bad, people just drive out of the ordinary. Man, that was a lot. Come on, people, let's drive. Let's drive. Let's drive. Let's drive. Let's drive. Have fun and drive. That's all I can say. Have fun and drive. Man, I really thank you guys for your support. Much love to those that are tuned in, that are following. Now, again, you can go back and catch some of our old shows. Go to our website, click on our YouTube channel. That's going to pull up a lot of the old shows. Our YouTube channel, and as well as again, you can go to our Facebook page and see all the information. But you can go to our website, www.mms-management.com, to learn more information about the show and go look at some of our old shows. Again, I thank you guys for your support. It's about time for me to get out of here. Got to go have some fun on this beautiful Saturday. You know, it's a lot going on, and I'm going to be a part of a lot of what's going on positively in a positive way. Much love to you guys. One plus one equals deuces.